Look at this. The contours are starting to all come to life. So this field is actually pretty much done. You can see that it will end here. There will be later on more things that happen here, but we just have to wait for the outdoor arena. But all of this fencing is done, and this is the round fencing that is going around the canter track. So it has a bend to it, and I was worried that it was not going to be, that it was going to look like a bunch of straight lines, but the guys did such a nice job with the placings of the poles that it actually reads very round. Oh my god, this is really starting to come to... Oh, and they did the other bend there. They kept going down there as well. Now you can see there's some larger spaces. There's some larger spaces left. I would presume that that is for the gates, which have to be installed. Oh my god, I'm a little like lost for words. It's like all of our dreams are like coming to life. Wow, look at this. Let me turn you guys around. Look at this. Wow, well, day 3 is really kicking into gear then, isn't it? We continue on down because they've started to place the poles along the other pathway, which means we're going to get a good understanding of what that structure is going to look. Oh, they're doing the bend down there. Oh, they're starting to do the bend over that pathway. This is so exciting. Also because you start to see like the size of the fields as well. Wow, wow, wow. So these are the slightly smaller fields. Let me see that I don't step over, break all their wires. So these are the sizes of the fields that we have. These are the smaller ones because these are the winter fields we're going to have to use more of. Wowee, look at this. Okay, the size is perfect. I really didn't want this to feel like it was choking the main kind of like pathway. But here there's plenty of space for us to do whatever we want. Wow, let's walk down. Let's keep walking through it so I can show you guys. Yes, it keeps putting sticks everywhere there's holes so we can fill it. Wow, wow, wow. So this is actually a little bit of a smaller field in here because it's on the corner, but we thought that maybe this could be for the ponies so that they don't have too much grass also in the summer. I mean, it's still, to be honest, not a bad sized field. And we do have gates that will go in between all of these fields. So if we want to give them 2 or all 3 or all 4, then we can still do that for the summertime when we don't have to have them more all focused in this area. Okay, this field here is massive. This one is like, or maybe there's still another line coming from, there. I don't actually remember now. I will need to ask. But this field is actually huge. Maybe we can divide that one more time. This is the thing, is that you only really start to realize these things when it all starts to come together. Otherwise you don't see it. Fencing is getting along really good. It's going quite quick, and it's really special to see all the shapes starting now and get a bit of a better idea for what it's going to look like. So really exciting. There's more poles going in. But today it's time to start the fencing inside the fields where the horses are currently living in. So we need to kind of make sure the horses can't get out and the people can do the work. Also we have to make sure that, because we haven't been able to finish the
the canter track from over there to connect it to where it starts, because the horses are in this field. So now I'm gonna split it from this half, so the horses can still of course be outside here, but there's all the space to work. Learning from the good people. First I was putting it all up already. You can see it's not very straight. Now I'm just placing the poles on the ground before I stick them in. So I know, because I only have 3 long ones left, then I can see if I have enough, but I think so. Oh, battery. Okay. Now the wire. And sorry guys, it will be a little smaller for a few days, but after it's gonna be worth it. Miss Andorra is... Oh! What do you think? Do you approve of them or not? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good girl. Chase, I'm trying to make this, but you have to stay on the other side. This side is good. Yep. That side is good, okay? This is still wiring we had left, luckily. The poles are dancing. I don't know why I get so excited about these poles. Only one problem. Chase on this side and Bear only on that side. I need help. Oh. Chase, update. Chase also not on the right side. Okay, I'll finish this and then I'll get you guys in a second.
Right, so we've moved the horses so they've got a separate section, and now we are day four. Now we are driving to establish...
It's day 3. Oh no, if you count also the other day.
Now we're driving to establish the 2, like we've already driven and established the end of the canter track for now, and now we have to do the off-road that takes you to the forest. And honestly, because there's a bit of
and
dew,
to the other fields.
Yeah, because there's a bit of dew on the ground, I've set a couple of markers for me to hit.
I think this is too much to the left, to be honest. Oh.
But it helps so much if the ground's a bit wet, because you can see the tire marks quite easily. You see what I've created here? Like a entrance point. Come on, Jesse. It's like perfection. So the 2 roads will deviate.
I mean, I like the bend going from left to the right.
Looks.
Very magical. Can you imagine, with a bit of fog and a bit of sunrise?
That's really pretty.
But the only thing, then we have to see if this is going to work for the field.
We need to see, we will just have to round it off there and have some grass area. Let's walk it, come. That's the only
Maybe we can have a tree here. No?
Yeah.
But...
Or a bench or something. Or. But if you look at how far the fence post is out there, there is going to be a lot of space.
Yeah, but how are we going to connect that? That's what I mean.
Well, it's going to be one like this, and then this fence taking the bend and going around.
Okay, and then this field will be
the whole left side.
Okay. Mapped out most of it. So far, knock on everything, it looks good. So let's hope we continue in that way.
It's going really well. I feel like today's like, I mean, all the other days were good, but today it's like extra good. It's extra exciting.
All the shapes are coming along.
And the pathway that we made, they're just putting it together now. My favorite one. Yeah. It's my favorite one out of all of them.
And we made a decision about the field in the middle.
Yeah.
To keep it probably like one really, really big one.
Maybe we can show it quick a little bit from this side. So what we've decided is, this was meant to be 3 fields to begin with, 3 large fields. But we've decided that we're gonna keep the whole circle. Now that's what I like to hear. So we've decided that we're gonna keep the whole circle of the gallop track into one big field. So it's going to be huge. It's gonna be several acres. Actually, I should measure later actually how many acres it is.
Is it actually the whole track? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole gallop track is one field. But that's because the more we make fields, the more we realize this property is actually huge. Like, there is so much space here for the horses that we have the room to really just give them a huge bit of land, so like a big group of horses can just go in the one spot, and this is gonna be it. And we can always choose to add more fencing later, but I think it will be a nice, honestly, it's gonna be so pretty in there. It's gonna be really nice.
And okay, if you compare it to,
yeah,
if you compare it to like fields in the US or something, it's still different, I think, but
yeah.
This is very nice and beautiful.
We were just looking at some videos from some of these properties in the US which have just these like 30, 40, 50 acre fields and the horses running free, and we thought this will be our one. This is like our Dutch equivalent of like just a huge field where they can gallop, and there's a lot of different heights of the ground here as well, so the horses will really like, I don't know, it will be really nice, I think. And yes, it was also saying like nice. It could be the, huh?
Just nice, the pathway there too.
Yeah. Yes, it was also saying that it could maybe be the fields for the foals as well. That would be really pretty.
Okay,
so, yeah,
now
lots
this
going
sound,
on.
Keep going. Chase.
Morning. It's day, oh my god, I've lost track. I think it's day 6 today. And it's exciting. I'm trying not to give you guys too many like huge reveals now, because we're getting to the point where like things are really shaping up. So we want to do like the big before and after kind of like in one spot, like in one time. But it's exciting today because all of the old fencing is being removed, and we actually have, give you a little sneak peek, we actually have some of the wires already on in one field. So the horses have like one field that's finished because we have to remove the old fence. So there's a little sneak peek. I will show you guys better a little bit later. But what is happening now, as I was saying, is the old fencing is being removed. And that's really making very, very clear where all the proper lines are, because the old fencing was kind of blurring the design a little bit, but now that it's being taken out, you're really starting to get the picture around here, and it looks amazing. Honestly, I couldn't be happier with how this is coming out. Seeing lines, yes sir. I am seeing lines in. Let me give you guys a little bit of a close-up. Huh? You see that going all the way through, and it continues. Look at it down there.
That side is that we really walk through.
Yeah, crazy. Look at that. It's all coming together now. I'm curious, I want to see how they're actually putting it in. Because it's not, I don't think it's the easiest job in the world, because they're putting so much tension on it too.
The inside of the wire, I think.
And it's tough. Yeah, this is kind of what it's like on the inside. That's a good point to show.
I think they just pull it through, and then with this they tighten it.
Yeah, I think so. But you can see this is like what's conducting, and it's also like what's giving the strength of the wire, and this is the coating.
What happens when you sit on it?
Well, I mean, the isolators are not like, you know, they're not gonna hold everything. Wow, it's all coming together. Look at that. These are spaced every 6 meters, and at the back as well.
Oh yeah. What do you think of the 6 meters?
And these are spaced every 3 to give more of the correct bend look and shape to the path. It also just looks a bit neater to have them every 3. But I think for in between the fields, that's perfect. So then it's not too much fencing going on.
Look how cute the exit here, or
I don't know if
end of the property.
I don't know if I showed you, but I cleared the trees out of the way. Like I cleared those branches.
Oh yeah, not that you moved them yet. But look how cute if we have some cute flowers here.
Yeah,
And then when you leave this gate, you can walk around either a bit in this forest or through here.
Yeah, you can go on a perimeter trail of the whole property, and this connects you.
That's also nice, no?
Yeah. What I was saying to you yesterday is I think it would be nice to have 2 trees flanking the gates here. 1 tree here and 1 tree here. Hold on.
Yep.
We're just deciding now where we're gonna have the drinkers. And I don't know why some people in fields always put the drinkers like somewhere at the back, but then you can never see if A, they're clean, or B, if they're actually working. You can't test them quickly. So I thought about putting them just very close to the gate, maybe like on the second pole.
So just keep in mind the gate's open.
Yeah.
So maybe.
So they'll open like 1.5 meters. So I think by here we should be done. So then we need to try and always have them to the right of the gate.
Because you have to keep in mind then also the opposite field. I don't know if it matters.
Yeah. I think just the same on the opposite, no?
And it needs to be a bit of a dry area.
Yeah. So I think the last time you guys saw us, it was March. We were very excited running around the whole property, trying to catch every little bit of new construction that was going on.
Non-stop.
It's May now, that's why everything looks quite different.
I think every time we were inside, we were like, should we go for another round?
Yeah.
Sitting for a second, should we go for another round?
Yeah. What are they doing now? And then we were like, we don't hear poles going in. What are they up to
You
now?
said every time when he hit tick, 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 you're like, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah. But we wanted to wait until it was into May to show you guys the fully finished project. It's happened. The fencing is fully finished. At least phase
For
1.
this.
Phase 1 of it is finished. I know that in my previous videos, I also showed you a little bit the designs of the canter track by mowing them out and also the arena, but we didn't really actually walk through it and talk you through it all.
No.
So I think it's a good opportunity to do that today while we're already looking at the fencing.
And it's one of our favorite things to do because it is quite difficult because it was just one big field to then come up with a design and to make sure everything is right. So many times we're like, oh, maybe we should do it like this, or they came with good suggestions.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that easy, but I think it worked out quite well.
It's crazy to think that the design that started off just on paper now is actually translating to real life, and it's one of the first things we get to see implemented on this property on the equestrian side come to life. And now everything is snowballing and things are happening with the barn and the outdoor arenas being planned in to start, and
Exciting.
it's all happening. So maybe we start from actually down here. We'll take you through to where the riding arena is.
And now there's a lot of yellow flowers around, so even cuter.
Yeah, it's very pretty at the moment. The grass has really grown. I will say actually we are in somewhat of like a mini drought. You will see that everything is quite dusty along the roads, and it's just, I think we haven't had a proper rain in like 3-4 weeks, and it's been quite warm. So for the Netherlands, that is drought territory.
Yeah, but I heard on the radio that it's maybe the driest spring ever. But okay. We're here in the arena.
This is our arena. So we are a normal dressage arena is 60-20, which is 1,200 meters squared. Our permit allows for 1,500 meters squared. So we're going to be roughly going, give or take, 25 by 65. So it's going to be a little bit of a larger dressage arena.
I rode in it.
You tried to ride in it.
Well, I had some good moments too.
But then your horse went out of control and you were galloping
wasn't really like
out of
that.
control throughout the whole property. Yeah.
But it did feel good. It is a nice view all around. So.
I will say it is quite challenging to ride when there's a ditch running through the middle.
Yes.
So that is something that the horses need to get used to. And it is all on an angle because the whole property goes uphill towards the back. So this is kind of the lowest spot. Let's maybe we can just walk over to the fencing and show a little bit of like, I feel like...
So it's actually mowed. It looks like a horse has been pacing.
Yeah, no, it's been mowed. But I feel like we've shown like some of our friends now this type of fencing, which is permanent cable fencing from Chevaldo. But a lot of people always told us like, oh, we've never seen this kind of fencing before, but I don't know why it's not used more, permanent cable fencing, because
we had something at my work, I think something similar, but that was more for safety if the horses were to go through. But I had also never seen this, because you were talking about this that is quite strong and it's like really nice looking. So I'd never seen it, but I really like it.
So there's a steel cable running through this.
Careful, it's on, yeah?
Yeah, I will not touch it. There's a steel cable running through, and then it's covered by this Terra cable. And the whole reason why it's so good is, firstly, visually, it's not that big. So you can see through the fencing quite well, which I think you and I first thought that's one of the benefits of having it here, is that like from the house, we don't have to look at all these giant pieces of wood that stop your view. But it's still, even though it's small and you can see through it, it's still strong enough that a horse can't break through it. They can't snap it, as traditional electric fencing just snaps under enough tension. So that's why we kind of went with this option, because we didn't want to commit to the wood. We've discussed this a little bit in the past before. We didn't want to commit to wood fencing straight away, because we didn't know how the placement of everything was going to be. And if we then have to remove fencing and place again, it was going to get very expensive. And this is a lot easier to install and to remove. And every person that's come here, all of our friends and family that's come to see it, everyone says, leave it, it's perfection, it's
perfect. And from the house, from a distance, you don't see it that much.
No.
So it's like you just look into this open field.
Yeah. But we will take you up further, because that's where like the design really starts to shine, I think.
The design starts to shine.
So this road takes you from the stables all the way up, but it also joins into the canter track as well, which has been mowed. It's like the shorter grass. I will stand on it so you guys can see it.
Should I stand on the longer grass then?
Yeah, this will remain grass. This is going to be just like mowed grass. And then this will be the canter track, which is still obviously needing to be installed.
I've ridden on this too, and that was very nice, because it was very strange.
On the canter track?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was actually really nice to finally be able to, after our own walks, do it with the horse. Yeah. And I cantered and I rode with Macho and Hunter together.
You did?
Approved.
Yeah. I was already thinking, I was like, is it going to be possible? Because walking a horse from the stables all the way out, when you have to do quite a few, it takes a long time. I was like, I wonder if they will get used to like us driving the electric buggy and then
you just tie them all up?
No, I don't think we can tie them all up, but if you hold one, you know?
I'm sure, but okay, we can also walk.
We can train that. Come on, you can train a horse to do all these tricks. You can't train that?
I never said you couldn't train it.
And I think
I've been doing it on the bicycle with them, so I think an electric car is fine.
Right. You used to do it with a bike. Yes, it used to be like riding a bike and holding a horse, and that's how he would...
It's not that I recommend it, but it was okay.
But it worked. This is one of my favorite views coming up, because you really start to see like the design come to life a little bit with all the different roundings and different shapes.
And one thing that we really were thinking of, because of course we had to just make the design of the fields. We really wanted to have big fields, which we think is super important for the horses, because they spend a lot of time outside. And it's just really nice when they have the space.
It also looks so nice having that openness, because as you get to the back of the property, that's where we placed a lot more of the individual fields, especially because the back is where it's dry for the winter. So we have more fields back there. So it's nice for the eye to have a bit of a break up here.
And there's also the end of the kind of the property, so we can also then walk all around the fields, because we also left the outsides open.
We didn't really discuss too much why we went for these gates. This is the English, I think they're just called the English gates from Chevaldo.
I'm not sure, but I know that they're nice.
Yeah, but the reason we did it is we knew you needed a certain amount of length on the gates. And if you have it in one piece, and you're trying to get a horse out and the wind takes you...
Like the ones we have in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle, but those are not really being used all the time, so that's why we did it like that there. But if you have a really big gate and you're holding one horse and it's on a windy day, the gate like slams open, and then you have to like try and reach around and grab it, and it's quite difficult. So these ones just kind of open individually. Sorry, madam. Like this. And they always open inwards, because obviously that's much more difficult for a horse to be able to open a gate inwards rather than just pushing it out. So they just open inwards and you're able to take your horse in and out really easily. We also placed electrical wire on the inside of the gate because
Guy who loves to open up gates.
yeah, we have one horse that really loves to open gates, so this will stop him from that. And we have Chase who loves to eat gates, so that will stop him doing that.
So one other thing that we were really thinking of what to do, I mean, you had it clear in your mind, but I always think just have as much field as possible. But what we decided, because you can maybe see it, where these pathways are quite wide. So here's where the canter track goes through, which is around 3 meters. I
Yeah,
think.
it'll be around 3 meters.
And then on each side of the canter track we have
4 meters.
4 meters, I think. So that is in total 8 plus 3, 11 or 12 meters.
Well done.
So I first thought that is huge because I think like, oh, that's such wasted space. But when we did it, it actually is one of the best things.
Yeah.
So you think it looks beautiful, it gives you the space, it gives you the ability to do something with all the grass around. And when you're riding, you don't get like a horse in your neck as well.
We're now coming up to the ponds that we restored. I told you guys already there was these 2 shallow wetland areas which needed a lot of maintenance because a lot of vegetation had settled. So we kind of scraped that all back and uncovered what was there. These small pool reservoirs. They're very dry at the moment because it's been, we haven't had any rain, it's been very warm. But they should typically, there is still some water, it looks a bit like a wet puddle. There is still some water, but those should actually be filling up to where you see the grass finishing. That's pretty much where the water line should be in the future.
And you know what the nice thing about it is that we have quite a lot of wildlife here. So they really use it. We have deer drinking because you see the deer prints, you have a lot of birds. We have geese with babies now in there as well. So it's actually very nice to see that they use the water.
Yeah, there's been a lot of wildlife that's been attracted there because of it. And this whole area we reseeded and it's all growing in really nicely. Again, we need some rain because it's struggling a little bit because of this mini drought we're experiencing. But all in all, it is starting to like button up and come together, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to take you guys in here because I wanted to show that perimeter track that we left. I got quite a lot of comments of people saying, why didn't you not make the perimeter track, the canter track itself? And there's 2 reasons for that. The perimeter track is not able to access all the fields because there's fields in the middle of the property. And the perimeter track is really large. And we certainly do not have the budget to make a canter track that's like 1.5 kilometers. The canter track itself now is about 400 meters. And all the pathways in total, I think, equal to 800 meters, somewhere around that. But if we squeeze through here, you can see the 3 meters that were left.
Because we were kind of upset to leave. Like first we were thinking, do we go all the way to the trees or not? Yeah. But we thought it was quite sad to lose the option to either ride around it or walk around it.
But you can see that there's like a really healthy amount of room to come either with a small tractor or with our buggy and be able to look at the fencing and maintain it. Oh. You know what they call this in English? I think it's called cow parsley.
Can they eat it?
I think so. But they don't really, I don't know why.
Maybe just in case. You know what they can eat that they really like is these sticky things.
Is your job today to just annoy me or what?
Yeah, it's quite healthy. Look at me. Oh, here.
Yeah, give it to him because he really needs it. Well, that was an overlook as to where we are now. From start to finish, there's been quite the transformation. And I really want to thank Chevaldo for partnering with us on this project and giving us such incredible bones to our property.
Huge thank you. You did not disappoint at all. We love it every single day. It looks really good. The horses have been here and they have approved it too. So it's just been really, really great.
It's the one thing that has like already made this place, like people walk into this place and before they thought, okay, it's a nice house with a lot of land. But now people come in, they say, oh, it's a horse property.
That's what we said, no?
Yeah.
So now it's really like a horse property.
Yeah. If any of you guys are interested in getting fencing done from Chevaldo, they have a huge web shop. So I'm going to leave the website down below and you can also contact them directly for bigger jobs. They will come out, make you an offer, talk you through the whole process and kind of guide you and give you what options are possible for you. I know we will continue to work with them on the fencing for our arena and a couple of other bits and bobs that we're going to get done. So I'm really looking forward to the partnership for us continuing as well. Again, we couldn't recommend them more. Well, that's it for now. I think we leave here. This is like the favorite spot.
I think we do one more round ourselves.
We'll take ourselves, and also with our little buggy, we're like,
yeah,
we love making our little rounds. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.